final comments that they wanted to make, brief comments, and then we'll close it out. Starting over with John. Jonathan, did you?
I guess the only thing I would say, just really quickly, is that right now people are faced with questions 2 and 3 in the ballot. It isn't that simple, because if nothing actually happens 6 months from now, and there is no solution to the school population problem, there are going to need to be tax monies appropriated and other solutions explored by the Finance Committee, the School Committee, and other members of the town. So there are going to be costs incurred to solve this problem. The alternative is not to do nothing. So from a pure pocketbook standpoint, we just need to spend money on our schools. That's probably the recent budget debate has made quite clear.
I think I could add to that, the modulars that we'll be putting up in the fall would not have been necessary if this had been approved 3 years ago. The delays have cost us several $1 million already, several $1 million, and further delays are not going to be cheap. Our kids need help, our teachers need help. We need a new project, and I would urge you to support this one.
If God Almighty came down and said, I'm going to give you a 40-acre pristine site, and I'm going to give it to you in the heart of the school district where you want to build, I'm going to reimburse 64% of the cost of building and financing, I'd say, God, what's the catch? Am I going to have to go to church? All right. It seems too good to be true. I mean, so I just don't know what the issues are with this. The reimbursement might be a little less than 64%, but I think it's really a no-brainer.
Chris, you want to follow that one?
That's a tough one to follow, isn't it? Let me, one thing the planning board looks at also, not just buildings and roads and things, is open space and where people are going to try to utilize open space. We do have 36 acres of wooded land up behind in a subdivision that's getting more accessible now. But it's not really accessible to people for doing a lot of recreation. During the summertime, we have 2 lovely fields. Well, they're not really lovely. They're small fields at the Batch in the center of town. 4th of July, we utilize the whole Batch site. In looking historically, that site was part of the militia training fields. Back in the old days, they used those sites to train our militiamen. So there's some history there also. That's kind of gone, but it's still those open areas that they used back in those days, and they were always used for public service.
A couple things just briefly that haven't come up. One of the things I think people need to understand is that if you take a look, and I urge everyone, if you can, to drive down 62 through the Center Village Historic District and get an understanding of what North Reading is blessed with. If you look at the towns across the state, if you look at things like property values, if you look at things of why someone cares about a town, you may not think about it every day, but those buildings, the common, the big tree, all the spaces that you've got in the center of town right now, a lot of other towns would kill for. And I think we need to be careful about what happens if we put a very large addition combined with an awful lot of asphalt. We haven't talked about that yet. If we build the addition, we get more traffic, we get more cars, and between building footprint and paving, we lose the bulk of what is the current Batchelder site. I also want to just say in closing that it's important for everyone to understand that the Historic District Commission is not here to be a pain in the neck. We were set up by town meeting in 1993 to have regulatory authority over the buildings and the property of the Historic District because it's important to save this for future generations, as previous generations had the foresight to save it for us. I was told a number of years ago by one of the members of my board that I believe it was in the 70s, there were plans to tear down 1 or 2 other buildings in the district and put up a CVS and possibly a small strip mall. Again, I urge you to drive down 62 and imagine if our forebears hadn't had some foresight for us. And the final thing in closing to understand is that in addition to our Historic District Commission taking a look at this, because state money is involved, if we renovate and expand the batch, and because it's sitting in an understand and recognized historic district, the State Historic District Commission would have review as well.
Just kind of hear more in an informational capacity today, so I would encourage anybody who's out there for concern for themselves or a loved one about the circuit breaker, I'm more than happy to send you some stuff. Call my office. Questions about SBA, where it's at and where it's going, more than happy to send some information out. And just kind of on a more of a personal note, as somebody who's been on the Board of Selectmen who supported this, and on the Finance Committee, I can't reiterate enough what everybody said here today about the opportunity cost that we've already lost. It's going to cost us millions of dollars more, and waiting is only going to cost more, which, from a financial perspective, I can't see beneficial to anyone.
Mark?
I think it's all been said. It really has. Regardless of what your preference is, I just urge the public to choose an option. Regardless of which way we go from this point forward, it's just going to cost us a tremendous amount more money. Aside from the needs of the kids that are being put aside, just from a financial perspective, we need to do something now. So make a choice.
Well, I want to thank all you folks for coming, giving us your expertise, your opinions, and your information. I want to thank everyone out in the audience for asking questions, and everyone at home for watching. I want to thank Sunrise Bagels for providing breakfast this morning for those of us, I think more coffee than anything else. Again, the purpose of this event was to help those members of the community, that's most of the rest of us, we're going to be voting on May 8th to evaluate these two plans. Question 2, the batch renovation. Question 3, Swan Pond, and decide exactly how you want to go into that poll booth and vote. And so we hope, as a Citizens Action Committee, we are about getting community involvement, both in committees and in all ballot issues. And so from that standpoint, we want to try and create any kind of situation where you can get information to get your decisions made and get your voice out. So we hope that this event did that for you. This event is going to be replayed on Channel 22 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. and on Wednesdays and every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Selectmen are on the other Thursdays. Our candidates Q&A, which was last week, will be replayed Tuesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. and Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. So we encourage you to watch that to see some of the candidates who are running, who came and spoke to the public and gave us their opinions. Based on that candidates Q&A and the profiles that they put forward, the Citizens Action Committee has made endorsements for both Board of Selectmen and School Committee, and we encourage you to go to our website, www.cacnr.org, to see those endorsements and evaluate the candidates as they put their own words, and that's on the website. Just a couple of items, other items that are on the ballot, just to remind everybody, the police station, it's going to be a new police station even though it's a renovation. That is on there, and we do encourage you to vote for that. The police station space needs is also a critical issue and needs to move forward. And the schematics for the middle school and the high school, as has been already alluded to, we need to move forward with those projects, and we need support at the ballot for those issues. So again, the Citizens Action Committee would ask you to vote yes on that question, schematics for middle school and high school. Join us in a few weeks on April 24th for the League of Women Voters Night. Meet the candidates. You can meet all the candidates there. Both Board of Selectmen and School Committee will be represented for debate, and those folks running uncontested for CPC and positions moderator. That's at 7:30 p.m., April 24th, in the large group room at the middle school. And we certainly encourage you to join in going there and having your voice heard. And of course, join us at the polls May 8th. Vote. If you're not registered, you have till the 18th of April to register. So if you're new to town, please make sure you've registered. And if you have any questions, visit us at our website, again, www.cacnr.org. Or call us at 978-276-1171. And of course, everybody has to dial 11 digits now, so don't forget that. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of a beautiful day.
You need to take it, if not a driving lesson, at least go out so someone could observe your action with the clutch and the gas and say to you, you're not doing this right, or you're driving perfectly okay.
I mean, have you ever fried a clutch before
No.
in 24,000 miles?
I've never fried a clutch ever.
Yeah, well, then there you go.
You roasted any?